Let's go over the 3 best places to live while in medical school. No, this is not in any particular order. All right, so on my list I have living in the dorms, living in an apartment with yourself or with roommates, and living with your parents. All right, let's go over it. So, living in the dorms, and you see I got my trusty iPad here so that I can make sure that everything that I say is what I need to say on the list. All right. First, we have the dorms. Now, many people are probably gonna be like, nah, that ain't for me, fam. I ain't living in no dorm, bruh. I'm too old for that. I already done graduated undergrad. I'm out here ready to experience life. I don't need to be living in no dorms. But hear me out, right? Hear me out, hear me out. There are great reasons to actually live in a dorm while you're in medical school. The first thing is, it's a great location. You're on campus, you have access to everything, everything is in walking distance, and parking can be free most of the time. Hopefully, most of the time. In addition, you're also amongst students, right? So you have multiple study partners available to you, and studies have shown that those who live on campus actually do better because they're surrounded by people who are in their program, and that can enhance their efficiency in studying, right? You don't have to worry about non-students disrupting your study time. And there is easy access to study partners and groups, as I mentioned before.
Now, another great thing about living in the dorms is just the fact that you don't have to worry about dining. Dining isn't an issue because more than likely there's a dining hall connected to the dorm. Now, I can't promise you that the food is going to be fantastic. However, at least you don't have to go hunting for food. That is always a great benefit when all you just want to do is study, get the work done, and get the grades that you need to be getting. Now, there are a couple of things that you should look out for when living in the dorm. Number one, you can feel trapped on campus. One of the benefits of living off campus is the fact that you can actually leave the area where you study and get all your work done and interact in terms of class, and actually go to a different place off of campus and unwind and just be there versus always having to be on campus. Another thing that you should look out for is that generally people who are older don't want to live in the dorms. Generally people who are in professional school don't want to live in the dorms, but again, it is still a great option. It's not something that you should completely knock off. And then lastly, not a great option for married couples. Usually if you can find a 1-bedroom dorm, that's cool, but usually married couples don't really want to stay in a dorm. All right, let's move on to option 2. And that is living in an apartment and or house with yourself or your roommates. This tends to be what most people do, right? Just like most people also smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. You know what I'm saying? So you can build a close relationship with your roommates. You know, there's multiple things that people do. You can have dinner nights with your roommates. You can have study partners at home, especially if they're in your program with you, or if they are in the program, or if they are higher up in the program. Even more so if they're in a completely different program. Now you just get a completely different perspective. You know, you're out there trying to study the drugs of some disease, and you're living with a pharmacist student who studies drugs. It's a perfect win-win balance situation right there. That's great. You can't really find that in a dorm. And so the fact that you can, live in a house with 3 other different people, again, all having their own bedrooms and paying $500 a month, you can't find that, especially in some place like Southern California. And then you have your own space, right? Most of the times, again, you'll have your own room, meaning that you'll have space to relax. You have food and snacks at home, so you don't have to go out there and buy all of that Chipotle all the time and waste your money because you got food at home. And if you are too lazy to cook, then you can DoorDash your food to your place. Don't do that. We are broke. Cook your own food. Eat some snacks. But again, you know, it is much easier than, you know, let's say again, living at the dorm where you're there, and if the food isn't good, then you have to go buy food because you may not have a stove to be able to cook food. So there are many benefits of essentially living in an apartment, living in a house with people that you know and that you get comfortable with and surround. But of course, there are things that you have to look out for, right? So the first thing is you got to make sure that you know the person pretty well. If you don't know the person pretty well, get to know them before you move in with them. Another thing is that you should look if they have the same values as you in terms of cleanliness, right? You don't want to be living in a place that you're completely uncomfortable. In terms of noise tolerance, okay? Like just some people are just noisier than others. And then study time. Some people may only want to study early in the morning, and if let's say you guys happen to share a room and you're like, I want to sleep, I'm a night owl, and they're like, well, I'm a morning person, that may become quite difficult. So that's something that you really should consider and really should talk about with the person who you are thinking of rooming with. And then lastly, especially because of this pandemic and a lot of people being at home and watching YouTube and smashing like buttons, a lot of people are living at home with their parents, and that is always an option too. Again, it's usually free unless they want you to pay rent, but still cheaper than all the other options. Free food, right? If I was living at home and my mom was, you know, she wants me to be a doctor, okay? She's like, look, right? She got excited when I finally got into Loma Linda, okay? She was happy. She said that we're gonna have a party bigger than my own wedding, okay? Like she'd be out there making me some food, which is great, you know? I love my mom's cooking. If you love your parents' cooking, it's a great option, you know? Free food, free laundry, right? You can easily do your laundry. You don't have to worry about, oh, I need to go to a laundromat, or oh, I have to have some quarters to pay at the apartment building or whatever have you, or I have to bring my debit card everywhere, because it's free, right? You just go down to wherever your laundry room is, do your laundry, and you're good. But again, there are some things to look out for. Like sometimes, I don't know about y'all, but I'm a Caribbean child, and which means I'm an immigrant child. We gotta do everything around the house. I know, there's gonna be many parents who's probably gonna be cussing words in my life right now, but that's okay. We gotta do a lot of things around the house. That could be a problem when you're trying to study. Yo, Darren! Yes? Yo, pass the TV remote now. Huh? Boy, come pass the TV remote. Pass the TV remote, bro? I'm trying to study. Chop. Bro. So, again, just things that you have to look out for even when living at home. There are many options out there other than the 3 that I just listed, but these are some of the best options that we do have, right? Personally, for me, I chose living in an apartment. I felt that it was most convenient for me. I don't live too far away from campus, and even more so, I love to cook, so it was easy for me to go to the grocery store and meal prep and just cook some food and have it already prepped. Find something that works for you, because what's important is when you leave school, wherever you choose, it needs to please be someplace that is not only convenient, but also comfortable and also easy for you to be able to get right into studying if you decide to study at home as well. If you haven't already, smash the like button, share this video, and subscribe. God made you great, so go and be great. I love y'all, respect y'all. Peace out.